Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Town of Bladensburg Council meeting. I would like to call the March 11th, 2024 meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. Now we will go into our opening prayer led by Councilmember McBride.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the blessing of life, health, and strength, the activities of our limbs to be clothed in a sound mind. We pray that you will continue to bless the town of Bladensburg, bless the residents, keep us strong, keep us safe, and keep loving us. In your name we pray, Father. Amen.
Amen. Next, can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Councilmember Dixon? Thank you. So let's have approval of the agenda.
So move.
I didn't call for the vote yet. I would like to make one adjustment to the, agenda. Under new business, I'll ask to move item number 4, the March legislative session update to the number 1 space. So now we'd like to call for the vote. Motion to approve the agenda. Moving new business, under new business, moving section number 4 to section 1.
I so move.
So moved by Councilmember Blunt,
I second.
seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any abstentions or further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known. Thank you. So for the approval for the agenda, my apologies, my mic was not on, so I have to go over that again. So approval for the agenda. Under new business, we asked to move section 4 to section 1. Section 4 is the March legislative session update, moving that to section 1. So I'd like to call for the vote. Motion to move under new business, section 4 to section 1.
I so move.
So moved by Councilmember Blunt,
I second.
seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any abstentions or further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Motion approved. Thank you. Next, approval of minutes for February the 12th, 2024, Town Council meeting minutes. Call for the vote.
I so move.
So moved by Councilmember McBride,
Second.
seconded by Councilmember Blunt. Any abstentions or discussions? Hearing none. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Motion approved. Next, we have presentations. We will have the Patriotic Committee, Ms. Renee Green. Rick, is Ms. Renee Green on? Oh,
Hi there.
okay.
Thank you. Thank you, council members and staff. I'm Renee Green, a patriotic member, and I just have a couple quick things. Memorial Day ceremony will be on Monday, May 27th at 11 o'clock in Memorial Park. We are planning, I'd met with Ray last week about the Battle of Bladensburg ceremony to honor the 210th anniversary of the battle, and it's also the 10th anniversary of having the memorial. So that ceremony will be on Saturday, August the 24th at 11 o'clock at the Battle of Bladensburg Memorial. The park is going to have some boat rides in the morning and then in the afternoon too. I'm also the treasurer for Amen Trust, and we meet once a month on Friday, the second Friday of every month for about an hour. And we kind of need a place to meet at. If we could maybe meet at the town hall or over at Boswick. So if that's something that you all could help us out with. And we usually only have 5 to 7 people meeting, so it's not like a crowd. Um, and I have an announcement. It's not part of the patriotic members but committee, but March is Women's Month, and the Prince George's Film Office, which is they do the Arts Nation, will have a special film screening of my award-winning film, The Coal Women, on March the 26th at 6:30 at the National Harbor. So I'll have a flyer, and Ray said that he'll send it out. And I hope that some of you all will be able to attend. I know it's kind of all the way down at the harbor, but it'll be a really fun evening. And I know Councilwoman Blunt had watched it, and she really liked it, and gave me some great feedback. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations. Yes, you're
Thank you.
getting the round of applause in the room.
All right. Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and what's the date again? We'll definitely try to make it.
It is Tuesday, March the 26th at 6:30.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, public comments. Yes, I have Miss Lois. Is that Kinkel? Yes, Miss Lois Kinkel.
Button? All right. To the mayor and council and fellow Bladensburgers, first of all, I'm going to read my statement because I'm old and I'd forget something otherwise. I am requesting some way to be exempted from the code and the fee for violation of the code regarding the height of grass and weeds on property for the month of April. As a member of Bladensburg's Green Team, I've been reading more about what other jurisdictions do to create a healthy environment for pollinating insects and for birds that feed on the seeds of those plants and some of those insects. Some cities and towns north of us have instituted no-mow Mays. While I think we may find that unreasonable, I would like us to consider no mowing in April for those who wish to do it. If an exemption could be applied for, I would ask for one, especially since for several years I've been encouraging a crocus lawn on part of my yard, and I have now naturalized daffodils in another part. Both these plants need to die back naturally to bloom the following year. Cutting the foliage while it is healthy and green prevents next year's floral display. Please consider an option to skip early spring mowing as an assist to Mother Nature and one way to help beautify the town in early spring. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you for your public comment. Next, we have Mr. Steve Whites.
Is mic on? Okay. Yeah, I want to thank the Bladensburg Police and Fire Department. We had a tree come down on Tilden Road, took down the power line and both cable lines, and they were there immediately. We called, and they showed up and really took care of the situation. We were without electricity, I think, from 1 o'clock to 6 p.m., and it was getting a little cold. They finally got the electricity back on. And then about 9 o'clock, we finally got the internet cable back, connected back up. And, you know, it's quite a big event, but I would like to encourage residents to trim their trees. And yeah, if you trim the tree, and it helps to keep them from blowing over like this. There's not as much, doesn't act like a sail, knocks the trees down. You know, I think they recommend about every 5 years, but I just appreciate the advantages of having local services in town. They're there right away. So appreciate that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Weiss. You're absolutely right about that. Yes, we say thank you to our staff as well for just being on top of things. We know that it means a lot to our residents. All right. Next, we have unfinished business, FY 2025 budget update. Oh, my apologies. Okay, that's all right. We have one more public comment by Miss Susan McCutcheon. Thank you. I'll write your name in.
Thank you, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Susan McCutcheon on Spring Road, and I also laud our public works. They do a great job. I mean, what can I say? They're very good, and our emergency response, everything is really excellent. I'm on the steering committee, one of the local people on the steering committee of the Port Town Sector Plan. And I want to make sure everybody knows there are going to be open houses to talk about it and to get ideas. And the people on the steering committee who are representing neighborhoods, et cetera, we're enjoined to distribute flyers, to talk about meetings that are coming up and that kind of thing. And that's something I'm doing at the community center, the classes we have for martial arts. We have a lot of people there, et cetera. So that's for open house is going to be on Wednesday, March 20th. And this time it'll be at Edmonston Recreation Center. So Wednesday, March 20th from 5 to 8 p.m. Come in any time during that. You have to be there from 5 to 8. Edmonston Recreation Center, and they'll have zoning maps and things like that, and talk about not zoning, but talk about the sector plan. And this is a revitalization of a previous plan we had. It was quite complex. So I'm going to be doing that. And too, if you want to spread, if you give them information about my email, if there's a request, you can give it to someone if they want to send me some information or their ideas. And what we're basically doing, the steering committee, is putting input, being at the open houses, et cetera, and then they write up the plan and all, and then we're going to review it. So that's the basic on that. Support opposing the SC maglev, the superconducting magnetic levitation train project. There is the legislation SB 79 and House Bill 170, and that's making some traction this year. This is like the fourth time around. It's finally making some traction, and there was an article about it in the Capital Gazette, showing, it didn't say a lot about the opposition to it, but the sponsors are saying they don't need, it says that the state won't give them money except if they have to process permits. But then the project people are saying, well, yeah, but we want to not, we're against it, even though we don't want the money. We want it in case we need it later. So that's kind of not a good reason to, like, say, here, we'll hold money out for you. But anyway, and then, I wanted to say one more thing, and it went right out of my head. Again, public participation. There are a few people here tonight, and I hope a lot are watching online. But please, be sure to come out and participate, and then don't complain later, though, because I know in my neighborhood people come by and say, "What happened at the council meeting? What happened?" And I'm now saying, watch it at whatever, watch it online, because you need to know for yourself, not because of what I said. So thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mr. McCutcheon. Thank you. All right, next on the agenda, new business. March legislative session update from LA Perez by Mr. Brown.
And actually, he's moving up to the top of the new business, but you still have unfinished business with Mr. Tenali. Did you want to skip over Mr.
You know,
Tonelli?
Mr. Tilley,
I'm fine. Trust me, I'm fine with it.
I just wanted to give Mr. Tonelli his time.
Mr. Tilley, we shortened your time.
10 minutes really quick, man.
I know, we shortened your time, and
Oh,
then I
that's
just
fine,
skipped right over.
that's fine.
I had you checked off for you. So unfinished business, our FY 2025 budget update from Mr. Tonelli.
Okay. Good evening, council and residents and those watching on YouTube and Facebook. Just to touch on, we are starting the FY25 budgeting process, and we have a lot of things up in the air right now, and they're all starting to slowly stick and come together, and we're going to bring a completed budget for you for discussion at the next mayor and council meeting. Just want to touch on a few things here that are of interest, I should say. The largest part of our budget is compensation, because I always say the town is a service industry. The town provides a service, and that service is public safety in the form of the police officers on the street, the command staff, code enforcement, administrative staff, the CAT team, and our 24/7 communications dispatch service. And also our Public Works Department, which is recently up to fully staffed. And again, they are providing the, the service to the residents in town. So with that, it's the largest part of our budget. And you can see public safety, because of the size of the department, because of everything I named right there, is going to be the largest part because they have several sub-departments underneath public safety, as I talked about. And the smaller percentage is the administrative departments, which includes the mayor and council, finance department, town clerk, and treasurer's office. And they are what I call the general and administrative expenses, the back office support that supports all the services being provided by public safety and public works. The largest hurdle that we have is ARPA, the ARPA funds, American Rescue Plan Act, is currently funding 11% of our total compensation right now, and that is covering the regular pay and a portion of the overtime. And we had that in the budget this year to make it work out, to cover the COLA and merit increases, and also to cover a couple, as we expanded the Public Works Department, it also covered that as well. So one of the hurdles next year is, how's that going to be replaced? If any funding is not going to be available come July 1, because we still have funding left right now, but it's most of it is spoken for, I should say, but we will get into that next month. And something else that helps fund the public safety right now is the speed camera revenues. And that's all setting some expenses as well. So that does help. And as we talk about what it will take, to just talk about compensation, you can see here that I'm sorry, I skipped one slide. Just to go back really quick, I got a minute. The COLA, or I'm sorry, the CPI for our area this year is just under 4% increase. Now, some people say 4%, I go to the grocery store, it's a lot more than 4%. Well, it's a basket of goods. It's a basket of everything that they look at for the consumer price index, including energy costs, grocery, medical, housing, everything. I know everyone says, well, everything's going up, but that's only 4%, but that's what it is. So it's, in previous year, I think it went up over 4%, and a year before that, I think it was like about 7 or 8%. So it's cumulative, so it keeps building, even though it's only 4% this year, it's probably close to about 13, 14% combined over the last 3 years. And that's what people more or less see. So talking about the CPI, so that pushes costs up in our budget. It pushes costs up that we have to budget for supplies, fixed goods, fuel, utilities, everything. And then there's also, going back to staffing costs, what it would cost to do a COLA increase based on the CPI. And you can see here, what each point of merit increase would cost. If the mayor and council were to do that, the cost of each merit increase is around $60,000 for each point. That 2% merit there is not correct at 108, it should be 118,000, so just bypass that. Some of the other increases are insurances that we expect to see, but that's not certain right now because we will not know what the health insurance increase is because we have a December renewal, which is good because then we only have to pay for 7 months of a budget increase into the budget because it's a December renewal. So we're paying our current rate all the way through November. But I just put that in here. That may be on the high end. Staff enrollments may change that. It may be cheaper depending on if elections are made at like a lower plan or to single coverage versus family coverage or the spousal coverage and they come completely off the plan. But we do have a good health insurance plan here, which is very competitive. That's one of the things that we really pride ourselves for recruitment and retention. Workers' compensation, again, we're not going to know what this full increase is going to be until May, late May, but I'm anticipating 60,000 increase on the high end. It may not be that much at all. I just have to budget on the high end. Let me see. Now, some of the revenue increases, or some people like to call enhancements, is our assessed real property in town increased $36 million from $564 million to $600 million of assessed real property in town. That's a 6%. That's over a 6% increase, which is the largest increase I've seen since I've been here. Yeah, so it looks great. Everybody's property values go up, but then, when the tax bills come, everybody's like, why am I paying more in taxes? Well, because your property value went up. So it's, but but
That's
that
Mr.
will.
Vito,
Yes.
that's a good point there. So you want to say that again?
Yes. Just a quick background on that. One third of the properties in Maryland are assessed every year. So I can't remember when Bladensburg was done last. It may have been done last year. But the market values are increasing rapidly, especially in this area. So your assessments are rising because your property value is worth more, which is great, when everybody goes, to finance or do that second mortgage. But then because you have a higher assessed value, then you're paying a little bit higher in taxes. So let's say if Bladensburg got assessed this year, well, I would roughly say everybody's taxes are going to go, their property taxes will go up 6% this year because of the higher assessed values. Yeah, so it's, so I know it's.
And it's not the town.
That's not the town, no. That is the State Department of Assessment and Taxation. And they also, what's crazy is they also encourage people to, if you think your assessment's too high, you can, help me out.
You can reduce it. You can ask, see if we'll reevaluate.
Yes, yeah. And all you have to do is a simple process and just come up with 2 or 3 comps in the area saying, my house isn't worth this, it's worth comparable to the house across the street from us. And the state encourages that because reassessment, thank you. Because they do what I call a flyby assessment, you know what I mean? So they just, see it from the outside, or actually they do it from the aerial view only now. So I think they started that a couple years ago. So any more questions on that? And a couple of the other things we're looking at for increases are, revenue increases are the business personal property tax, which is the business personal property in town is anywhere between $40 and $60 million that the businesses self-assess to the State Department of Assessments and Taxation to keep their charter current every year. And that has been increasing every year. Again, hoping for like an improving economy. An improving economy with a lower unemployment rate, especially in this area. We should also see higher income tax earnings coming back to the town. And one of the big things that's going to come on board is the automated traffic enforcement that Chief has more experience in. We're going to bring the red light cameras online, and they could be as much revenue as the speed cameras. So that could be something that will definitely help, especially with, but that's restricted to public safety purposes only. And they will be coming online hopefully by the beginning of the fiscal year. So, and that's about all I have for right now. So as I said, we will bring a, time's up? Yeah. Oh. So that's all I have unless you all have any questions.
Are you sure that's, because I don't want to rush through it because that is very important. The budget
yeah.
piece is very important. Did you have
Oh, no.
anything else that you
No,
wanted to
I mean,
discuss?
it's, again, it's all starting to come together now and everything, so it's, you know.
Okay. Any questions from the council? Councilman?
Is that why our electric went up?
Electric went up because Pepco, Delmarva Power had a rate increase approved in September 2023, effective January 1, I believe. And some people are seeing between a 20 to 30% increase. Yeah. Yeah, so it's, and that was a big sticker shock, and everybody's like, you know, we didn't know about it, but they've been discussing it, so. And I'm one of those that didn't know about it either, and, you know, so it's.
Saw my bill,
So, but that's it.
Go ahead. A couple more things, Mr. Vito.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, while we take care of this.
Okay. Yeah, I can keep talking for a minute, but, some of the other things with the budget also, oh, I'm sorry, the budget calendar. Let me go ahead and share that real quick. Sean, you want to start the clock again? This is just,
Yes, please share the calendar.
this is the budget calendar that will be up on the website and also posted outside. You can see we're in March right now. We'll only see March because we're here right now. But April 8th is we're going to bring the draft budget before the mayor and council. Now, the draft budget, as I said, is not set in stone. It's just to start the conversation pretty much. So, you know, sometimes people look at them like, oh my God, you know, it's like we're just starting to talk about it, you know. So, and then we have 2 budget work sessions scheduled on the 2 Mondays thereafter, on the 15th and the 22nd. May 13th, mayor and council meeting. There's a work session beforehand. We'll probably talk budget again. Also have a budget work session scheduled for May 20th. And if I can scroll down, I'm sorry, y'all. This is we're getting to June. We have a June 3rd work session. Hold on one second. A June 3rd work session scheduled, and then a June 10th is when we are adopting the budget and setting the tax rate. Now, we don't have to do the constant yield hearing this year in May if we are not changing the tax rate. If the tax rate is going to change, then a constant yield hearing has to be done, as done in previous years, and has to be done prior to and advertised before our June 10th meeting. So if there's going to be any changes in the tax rate, it should really be done in May to solidify anything by the June 10th meeting. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Vito. And I have to do a couple of one house cleaning item. We approved it during our work session, but I, Councilmember Brown, am acting mayor pro tem. In the absence of Mayor Takesha James. So I am requesting that that the mayor be excused from from the work session and the council meeting due to work-related matters. So I would like to call for the vote and make a motion for us to approve the Mayor James being absent from the work session and the council meeting on March the 11th. So moved by Councilmember Black,
Second.
seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any abstentions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Aye. Ayes have it. Motion has been passed. Thank you so very much for that. Also, we have another presentation from Delegate Diana Fennell's office. Ms. Wanda Gorham, Delegate Fennell's Chief of Staff.
No, not Wanda. This is Gloria.
Oh, hi,
I'm
Ms.
Delegate.
Gloria, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys doing?
Good.
The announcements we have are we're giving a food drive on April 18th at Rolling Crest, and it's from 9 to 1. And of course, we would like to invite everybody to come out. Also, we wanted to announce that her scholarships are now available. We have, matter of fact, I took some over to Bladensburg this morning. We took some applications over for the students to fill out, and we hope that they will fill them out, so, because there's money available for them to go to college, and we're trying to help them get there. Those are my two announcements. Are there any questions?
Yes, Ms. Gloria, do you have a deadline for the scholarship applications?
Yes, April 15th is your deadline.
Like tax day?
Yeah, tax day.
Okay, we have a question from Councilmember Dixon.
Hi, Miss Gloria. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. You mentioned about the food drive on April the 18th from 9 to 1 at the Golden
Yes.
Crest. Do you have
Rolling
an
Crest.
At Rolling Crest.
Rolling Crest.
Oh, Rolling Crest. Okay, do you have the address?
I can
I'll
get it.
I'll get it for, I know where Rolling, we know where Rolling Crest is. We'll get it
Okay.
for her. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Any other
All
questions
right.
from the council? Thank you so very much, Ms. Gloria. We appreciate that.
And thank you guys for having me on.
Yes, thank you. All right,
Okay.
next on the agenda, unfinished, yeah. Wait a minute, financial business. I want you to go again, Mr. Vito. Financial business, none. Next, we have new business. Now, we're going to get ready for the March legislative session update from L.A. Perez.
And Mr. Brown has not returned back on yet.
Oh,
So,
okay.
what I will do is, if the council doesn't mind, do you mind if I show the, presentation and maybe go through some of it before, as he's coming in? Because I'm hoping he'll come in. I sent him an email letting him know that we were starting, or would you like to move forward? Do you have a choice, since you've already changed the agenda?
Yeah, that's okay, because we changed the agenda, so go ahead. We
Okay.
can move
Great.
forward,
I
please.
will-
Thank you.
All right, then I will put up the presentation.
Because you all work closely together.
We did, we did. Let me just make sure. And he was trying to make it, he just had to get on another call quickly at, oh, you allow me to share again? Hello, Rick. May I share? There you go. It just came back. Okay, allow me to share, okay. Thank you. Moving to the front. All right. So council, the, Mr. L.A. Perez also does our, as our county council bills, and in the previous session, he mentioned 3 county council bills in particular. One was in regards to parking regulations that would allow people to park their commercial vehicles in front of their house. There were a couple on cannabis consumption in the county, and they're also watching a third one, which I had forgotten the name of it, but they are watching 3, is the school, it was school? It wasn't, school wasn't in the county,
No.
the county councils. But there's a third one, I believe there's 2 on cannabis, 1 on parking, and, but what we can do is, once Mr. Brown gets in, I will let him do that. Just a couple quick ones. House Bill 1104 is this fairness in zoning. This one, we had not necessarily approved because it is something that there's not a lot of movement on, but it has some issues with people that don't have necessarily standing in the area to be able to testify in different hearings. And so it opened up the zoning standard. HB 306 was the economic innovation, and that is to create a venture capital bill in Prince George's County that would be funded by, they're trying to find the funding for it, but it would probably be funded by DCHD-CD. HB 307 is a Class C nonprofit liquor licenses for fraternities and sororities and other nonprofits. In other parts of the state, this does exist. So it is actually something that would be a one-day license or an existing license in a class for, in Prince George's County. SB 160 is for tipped employees. Businesses would have to pay the minimum wage within 3 years. The next one is 396 and 398 are companion bills. And again, these would change the way that the county would do their funding as far as how they would allocate money from their general funds. One would take it from the tax on energy, and the other would take it directly from the telecommunications, but it would mandate that the schools would get a certain percentage of that. The issue with the reduction is that it would reduce the amount the general fund would have to give, but the county has certain mandates that it has to make under Kerwin. So that's the way that nuance would work. 100, SB 100 is the organized retail theft bill. The town has been very supportive of this. It aims at stopping large-scale retail theft, and we've sent a letter of support. HB 282, Chief, you're on. I just wanted to give you a chance to just to do that real quick. That is the speed camera enforcement one, to allow the technicians. Chief, are you there? Or, I know
Yes.
that this would, okay. So I just wanted to let you to, I mean, I can say it, but I thought that maybe it sounds better coming from the source.
Right. Good afternoon. Thank you, Town Administrator Ms. Belly Hedgepeth. Good afternoon, Mayor, Council, community colleagues. Yes, House Bill 282, this will allow civilians to approve speed camera citations. Currently, in the state of Maryland, only a certified law enforcement officer will be able to, has the authority to approve speed camera tickets. So the goal of this and the push behind this bill is to get civilians trained in approving speed camera citations to get the police officers back on the street, i.e. you hire a civilian, it saves the jurisdiction money because of obviously a lower salary. Just like currently in the state of Maryland, red light cameras can be approved by civilians. So it's the same concept. Now we will be able to train civilians to approve speed camera citations as well. And that's the push behind House Bill 282. Thank you, Ms. Hedgepeth.
Yeah, no problem. And 170 is maglev, and it's the bill that we would no more state funding would go for the bill, towards the maglev project. And at the same time, the town has written 2 letters in opposition, both on the House and Senate side for this. And then it would also mean that the money would only be spent for the design reviews. And then HB 159, Delegate Holmes Municipal Zoning. Again, we kind of mentioned this in the last one, but what happens with the municipal zoning is that the town wrote a resolution of support that was forwarded to our legislative team. But at this point, it's only looking at municipalities that are 15,000 and higher, but it allows people, right now they're trying to get language for people to opt in and opt out. SB 148 is the stormwater management bill. It would earmark funds for stormwater management, which we have a big need for because of the work that we are looking at with the county. So this would be a very good thing. Chief, do you want to talk about SB 314 with parental liability? I know that is also a police bill. I believe Senator
Yes.
Benson, is one of the sponsors.
Yes, so this is a bill aimed at educating parents, not so much to penalize parents for the, holding parents accountable for the actions of children, but it's more focused on, even though it says parental accountability, we do want to hold parents more accountable for the children. However, we also want to take the time to educate our parents, provide services for them, help the children as well with schools, so forth and so on. So that's the push behind this bill, Senate Bill 0314. It is picking up traction in the Senate, so we can look forward to giving schools strong authority as well as the courts and law enforcement. But the goal really is to educate parents and so we can get our children back on track, get them back in school. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Chief. And that's the ones that we've wanted to highlight for this session. There are a lot of bills that are out there, as Councilwoman Brown mentioned last month, that there's over 1,000 bills and they are tracking them all, but we wanted to give you a small slice. So that's it. That's what we have for today. And if Mr. Brown is back on, I'll let him, but no, he's not back on yet. So if he comes back, we'll let him in.
Thank you so very much, Mrs. Bailey Hedgepeth. Next, we're going to have a resolution 8-2024. So what will happen is I'll call for the vote, then for discussions, we'll have chief, then we'll have a reading and questions, or discussions, and then we'll have a reading of the 100-page resolution. Sorry, it's not 100 pages. Okay, so resolution 8-2024, a resolution providing for a Vision Zero policy to eliminate fatalities and serious injuries that are a result of crashes on streets within the incorporated limits of the town of Bladensburg by January 1st, 2023. I mean, by January 1st, 2030. I call for the vote.
So moved.
I'm sorry, I call for the vote, a motion to approve Resolution 8-2024. So moved by Councilmember Blunt,
A second.
seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any abstentions or discussions? Chief Collington?
Yes, thank you, Madam Pro Tem Brown, council, community, and colleagues. So I just want, for the benefit of the community, just to educate them and give them clarity on what this bill actually is. It's a new federal funding program to help advance the nation's goal in having zero fatalities on our roadways. It is a $5 billion grant. This resolution will give our grant writer the authority to act on our behalf to apply for up to $10 million and get new technology for our streets, like signs, lighted signs, traffic cameras, whatever it is that we would need that would deem to be able to make our streets safer. It would be also helpful for to allow for paying salaries, paying overtime for officers to conduct traffic safety details, click it or ticket, those type of initiatives. This bill will help subsidize the cost that it would take for officers to go out and enforce these details. And I'm not sure if Mr. O'Connor is still in town hall, but maybe he can shed some more light if I missed anything.
Chief, you didn't miss anything. Thank you. And so, Councilwoman?
Yeah, so any further discussion? Okay, we have a question from Councilmember Dixon.
Hi, Chief, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Great. So it's so encouraging to see the resolution 8-2024 aiming for the Vision Zero policy to eliminate fatalities and serious injuries from crashes within the town, within our community, town of Bladensburg rather, coming January 2030, which is like in the next 6 years from now. Implementing such measure not only prioritize safety, but also set a commendable goal for our community. But I do have a question for you. How do you plan to execute and enforce this policy effectively?
So one of the things we want to do is we want to work with our traffic unit. We want to enhance the traffic unit. We want to work with our allied law enforcement agencies that border us. So what we can do is we can create like DUI checkpoints, seatbelt safety. So we can work these details collaboratively under this bill, this grant. So we will be generating reports to keep the community updated on the status of the enforcement efforts. But more importantly, we want to create safe routes to schools for our kids. That's enhancing sidewalks, creating better lights out there. So that's what this fund will help us do, and that's the vision that we have for keeping our community safe.
Thank you. What specific strategies or initiatives does the resolution outline to achieve the Vision Zero by 2030, since we have that time spent?
So right now, this will give, again, Mr. O'Connor, our grant writer, the authority to go after these funds to help enhance the safety. So our plan right now really is just to step up our technology, whether that be tag readers, whether that be just getting our officers out there on overtime, doing rush hour, peak time, out in the neighborhood patrolling around our schools to make sure our students are getting there safe. So that's our immediate goal when we secure these funds, is to enhance our safety for our students and our pedestrians out there, to reduce these fatalities, pedestrians getting struck near the crosswalk.
So is there any community engagement or awareness programs that are planned to involve our residents in promoting this road safety?
So I do know we talked about starting up our own, trying to secure our own crossing guards. So that is still in play. So we can take a look at that to see if we will be able to get volunteers from the community to help with like safety patrols coming out in the morning, like getting our seniors back involved. So we just wanted this could probably be used for that, but we need to explore that to make sure that we cover all the legal bases. But that is talks what we want to do.
And Councilwoman, just to answer that question a little bit further, as part of the resolution, there is a task force that has both staff and that the community members can be a part of. And then also the other part of and I will read that into the record, but there is also, as part of this, I'm sorry, Chief, to interrupt you. It's working with multiple agencies within the state and within the local government that will help to, as far as the measures that go. We have to meet some certain measures, and Mr. O'Connor mentioned the fact that that not only will the police department, but SHA, which is State Highway Association, will be keeping the statistics. So there are different types of metrics and things that we have to meet from thresholds, and then also from the standpoint that we do get the community involved. And from the last conversations we had with SHA, they are working with us on and Chief, again, to point it back to you again, they're working with us on a public outreach policy, public outreach PSAs on pedestrian safety. Chief, I'm sorry. I just wanted to make sure that, because I just want to point into when it is in the resolution.
Thank you.
Nope, you're 100% correct. And again, with the safe routes to school is what this is. This falls under that umbrella, and that is a huge part of getting the community involved. As I stated earlier, having our allied agencies join us with this grant.
Thank you, Chief. I was just going to ask you whether the opportunities or feedback on the resolution how our residents can participate to shaping the road safety initiative. But I think you just answered my question. Thank you.
And then I think
You're
probably, the
welcome.
resolution is going to answer some other questions too. Yes. Any more questions from the council? Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, now I call for the reading of Resolution 8-2024.
Yeah, I know, get your go, okay,
You
thank
have your
you.
water?
Yeah, whereas one death on our streets is one too many, and whereas the crashes that result in death and serious injury are not inevitable, but largely preventable and stem from, in part, by human inattention and designs that are ineffective in accommodating multimodal uses in urban environments. And whereas a commitment to Vision Zero, is is a commitment to life, equitable opportunities for the town of Bladensburg, and where it is the role of the government to do its part to serve and protect the populace, and whereas the town of Bladensburg is recognized and strives to be continually acknowledged as a healthy, attractive, desirable, and safe town, and whereas Bladensburg has a strong history of commitment to prioritizing safety, and recently, or will soon complete, crash studies for both bicyclists, pedestrians, and has demonstrable progress in improving safety for walking and biking by making systematic changes in a way that the transportation network is planned, programmed, and designated, constructed, and also operated. And whereas hundreds of crashes occur within the town each year, resulting in serious injuries and other types of injuries, and whereas the number of people dying and suffering from serious injuries in our streets is a serious public health problem that necessitates public action, and whereas crashes on the street within the incorporated limits of the town of Bladensburg necessitate a comprehensive and specific approach to street planning, design, policy, enforcement, legal processes, education, and communication to provide the most powerful solution to solve the problem. And whereas an example of how to design a policy and impact safety is shown through multiple studies that demonstrate the chances of a pedestrian being killed by the car traveling at 20 miles per hour is 10%, while the chance of being killed by a car when struck by 40 miles per hour is 80%. And whereas Vision Zero aligns with the town of Bladensburg's public safety policies by prioritizing our most vulnerable roadway users and encouraging a balance among all users of the town's transportation network, and whereas choosing the active transportation options like walking and biking decreases mortality and morbidity from obesity-related diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and creating a safer street that is likely to encourage more active transportation, therefore increasing the population's health. And whereas the town of Bladensburg actively is working to ensure technology advances in automation, connected vehicles, and other emerging technologies happen for and with us rather than to us, by partnering with national allies and industry leaders that focus on these advancements, because the town recognizes that the promise of these technologies is to increase safety within our streets greatly. And whereas implementing Vision Zero, because commitment requires the contributions of not only the town, public information officer, Prince George's County Health Department, Town Police Department, Community Planning and Economic Development, Neighborhood and Community Relations, Town Administrator's Office, Public Works Department, the Mayor and Council, and all of those who've demonstrated through past actions and visions intentionally willing to support and implement Vision Zero commitment. And whereas implementing a zero commitment requires a continued support of residents, business owners, and visitors of the town, acting as individuals and collectively through our neighborhood advocacy organizations to improve and promote safety and comfort and usability of town streets. And whereas Bladensburg will join together with cities around the nation and the state of Maryland and in Prince George's County in their commitment to eliminate traffic deaths and serious injuries of our town. Now therefore be it resolved that by the Town Council of Bladensburg, we commit to a goal of 0 deaths and serious injuries that result in the crashes on the town streets by January 1st, 2030. Therefore, it be further resolved that the town of Bladensburg acknowledges in achieving this goal significant efforts and resources that it adopts to the State of Maryland Strategic Highway Safety Plan, the coinciding supporting Prince George's County Strategic Roadway Plan, and the infrastructure-specific State of Maryland Consolidated Transportation Plan. As a town Vision Zero action plan, acknowledging that these documents work together in providing an operational foundation to achieve Vision Zero in the town of Bladensburg. Be it further resolved that the town's Zero action plan will put in equity at the forefront, striving to impact the most vulnerable and dependent users of the most dangerous parts of the transportation network to improve the health and well-being of those traveling on those streets in the town of Bladensburg. And the plan will use data and community outreach to develop strategies that aim towards ending death and serious injuries on town streets in an effort to ensure that these outcomes will be experienced equitably through the town. And be it further resolved that the Vision Zero, not Zero Vision, the Vision Zero action plan will draw heavily from those who use our streets, including those who live in areas that experience high crash rates, those who advocate for safer streets on all modes, the general public, through a diverse range of outreach activities designed to understand both the concerns and opportunities, and with advancing this vision by their input and refined data to determine the appropriate and effective steps to achieve Vision Zero action plan. Be it further resolved that Vision Zero plan will use this data to best practice outline the concrete steps in the planning, engineering, policy, enforcement, and education to reach interim steps towards zero deaths. Be it further resolved that the town will work with its partners in the region who own and manage streets in the town to influence street planning, design, maintenance, operation, and law enforcement, including with the State of Maryland, Prince George's County, Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission, Metro Transit, neighboring municipalities who have similar efforts to leverage the individual work to contribute to the overall improvement and safety in the region-wide. Be it further resolved that Vision Zero Task Force may consult with members of the following organizations: the Mayor and Town Council of Bladensburg, the Town of Bladensburg Police Department, the Town of Bladensburg Fire Department, the Town of Bladensburg Public Works, Maryland Department of Transportation, State Highway Administration, the Maryland State Highway Office of Traffic Safety, Municipal Grant Service, and related, others that are related there too. Other town staff and regional partners as appropriate to advance Vision Zero commitment and guide the work of the Vision Zero action plan, which specifically engages members of the community, which will include establishing a Vision Zero advisory committee. Be it further resolved, I only got two more, that the town of Bladensburg acknowledge and accepts the Vision Zero action plan. It may change the town's approach to planning, design of streets, education, communication techniques, enforcement policies, procedures, legal and legislative frameworks, including the potential to advocate for focused and reduced speed limits in the town. Be it further resolved that the town is dedicated to measuring progress, challenges, successes of the Vision Zero commitment, and will do so tangibly. Report these metrics as reported on the annual basis along with a biannual progress report. Finally, it's further resolved that this resolution will hereby be adopted this 11th day of March 2024 and shall take effect immediately upon adoption. Attest myself, and actually it would probably be Mayor Pro Tem or Mayor James.
Thank you, Mrs. Bailey Hedgepeth.
No problem.
So motion for Resolution 8-2024 has been first and seconded with no further discussion. All in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion passed. Yay. All right. Yes, it is. Next, State Highway Administration right-of-way update. So is that Mr. Purnell?
Yes, that's going to be Mr. Hall. You're on.
Yeah, kind of review what we did in the work
The same thing with the new areas of right of way that we're going to be cleaning up. So, Mr. Hall, I'll let you say it.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle, and residents and mayor and council. Well, we already have an existing MOU with State Highway, which is we maintain 3 islands by the Peace Cross. We cut it and pick up the litter. Now, what we're doing is we're broadening that job task. So we'll be doing the ramp on Kenilworth north and southbound, and also we will also be doing the ramp on Kenilworth Towers. So what I'm saying we will be doing, we will be starting to maintain it and making it look neat and clean like we do the other areas, like by the Peace Cross and everything. And also, which is a good thing for the town of Bladensburg, because it is a gateway to the town in and out. So we're going to do our best, and we're fully staffed, so we should be able to conquer a little bit more areas to take care of now.
And the only other parameter is that we are obligated to do it 5 times a year as per the contract, but we will attend to it more. But I just wanted to say that the contract is 5 times a year.
Yes, ma'am. And we'll do it as we see. That way we don't have a lot of buildup, because as you got to keep in mind, it's not a town of Bladensburg roadway, it's state highway roadway. So every time that we go up there and have to work on it, we have to block these roads off. So we'll be calling back and forth with State Highway, and making sure that they get the literature out that the road is, the ramp is closed off during the time that we are participating in our jobs.
Thank you very
Yes,
much
ma'am.
for that,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Hall. Yeah, absolutely.
The curve is real dangerous,
Yeah. That road, plus probably you have to like shut the road down to clean it.
Yeah, we're that whole exit will be blocked off.
Yeah. Thank you so very much for that.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, we're gonna have, any questions from the mayor, from the council? Okay, next, we're gonna have the mosquito control program update. Mr. Sean.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, council, residents here at home. Just want to give an update. The town will be participating again this year in the mosquito control program hosted by the Maryland Department of Agriculture. The spraying will begin on May 26, 2024, and will continue through September 30th, 2024. It's going to be spraying for adult mosquitoes. The chemical that the state sprays is called Promethrium, and it's actually sprayed through, you'll see the trucks go around with the aerosol generators on the back, and we'll spray for the mosquitoes in the evening time after dark when there's less people out on the roadways. And the chemical that they do spray does not harm dogs or birds or anything. We just want to let the residents know that we will, again, be participating in the mosquito program. Any questions? Thank you.
No questions from the mayor and council? All right, well, we're moving right along. The green team update.
Well, we have 2 of our members of our green team actually sitting right here in the audience, but our next meeting is March 18th, and we're planning for Earth Day, which is April 20th, and it's going to be at Bladensburg Waterfront Park. We also are working on some signage, and Ray is actually ordering that signage, which is beautiful Bladensburg, and I guess I should have shown it today, but I didn't have the thing. But I will share that with the council, and it also will be on our website. But it's a very nice idea. We're going to start it with the Big Bellies and try to get it out there on our Big Belly trash cans. And Ray is getting those printed by Canva this week, so they should be going up fairly soon. Okay, and so that's but we do meet again the 18th, and the group is meeting. That's all I have. Any questions?
Thank you. Any questions from the council? All right, next we're going to move on to our Council of Governments update.
Yes.
From our town administrator.
Again, okay, so the Council of Governments is, again, we wanted to just provide updates on what's going on with the Council of Governments. Town staff has been attending meetings along with the mayor and council. They're not always monthly, they're often quarterly, but on this, from the standpoint of the CAO's meeting, which are the chief executive officers, I do attend that monthly, and the last few months have been really interesting. Partly why I understood some of the taxation issues is because it's not only the municipalities, it's actually the counties in Maryland who have been really struggling with their budgets this past year with the passage of Kerwin. So that has been a big discussion with the with all of the CAOs, both on the county and the county. And actually in Virginia, they're having similar issues with school funding from the standpoint that that's on a municipal level. What we wanted to also share is that Mr. Tonelli attended the Region Forward Committee in January. That next meeting is in April. The mayor's meeting for her agriculture is in the next couple of weeks. And Councilwoman McBride has a meeting coming up very soon for the farms and ag. But you actually you actually attended one for the farms and ag, which was just recently. Did you want to report on that? Because I mean, I did put it in the report, but since you're here, I'll let you speak to the farms and ag.
Good evening, everyone. Basically, our meeting this time for Carl, it was a meet and greet meeting. And I didn't attend personally, but I attended on Zoom. And so we were just getting to know about the different farmers and what type of season it is. And they also asked us, what did we want to see done in our town? I did make them aware that Bladensburg now we are composting now, and that eventually I would like to see a farm, our little vegetable and fruit farm, stands, and they said just let them know so they can help us make it happen. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you both. Thanks. All right. Next up, staff reports. Treasurer.
Treasurer's first.
Mr. Tonelli.
If it's okay, I think I may want to
We want to
forego,
Okay.
because I have a full financial report already in your packet and online, so
Yes.
just in the essence of time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, next, public safety and code enforcement. Is that you, Deputy Dickerson?
Yes, it is.
All
Good
right.
evening, council members, community members. Just want to briefly review some of the crime statistics for the month of February. So for the town of Bladensburg, we had a total of 53 crimes reported. 41 crimes were property, and 12 of those crimes were violent crimes. So to break down the property crimes, we had 12 thefts. We had 10 theft from autos. We had 9 stolen autos. We had 6 vandalism of autos. We had 3 shopliftings. And that's all the property crimes. So for violent crimes, we had 5 assaults, which were fights between 2 individuals. We had 5 reported citizen robberies, and we had 1 reported carjacking. We also had 1 non-contact shooting, which was domestic related, and we had 1 residential burglary. So those are our crime numbers for the month of February. As far as trends go, they've been pretty consistent over the last few months. We do want to encourage our community to continue to be our eyes and ears, which means if you see something, then please say something. It may not look like it's a whole lot going on, but give us a call anyway so that we can send officers out there to check it out. And oftentimes when we get those calls, we can stop a crime before it occurs. So we definitely want to encourage that. I will also report that our officers have been increasing traffic enforcement in certain areas. You may have noticed that. So I want to encourage our citizens to obey our traffic laws so that you don't have to get a ticket from one of our officers. That completes my report.
Thank you, Deputy Dickerson.
Yes.
Chief, do you want to chime in?
Yes, I want to thank the Deputy Chief for providing that crime update. But I just want to also let the community know there were a number of arrests made. So we closed out 2 commercial robberies with our Criminal Investigations Division. I want to just take this time to also thank our staff, men and women that serve on the front line and those serve behind the scenes. In addition to the 2 commercial robberies, there were 4 individuals arrested in both of those commercial robberies. We did also close out the citizen armed robbery that occurred in front of Bladensburg High School, where one of the juveniles students left campus and was accosted by several individuals right just outside school property. And I just want to let the community know that again, the good work of our Criminal Investigations Division following up on these cases, closed this case out. This was a student from another local high school in Prince George's County. So I want to make sure that we highlight the arrest as well, so that the residents know that our men and women of this department are working extremely hard to keep this community safe and vibrant. And the last thing I want to say is this is Women's History Month. And I just want to take a quick second to just acknowledge, number one, our mayor and council of all hardworking women dedicated to serving the community, as well as the women of the Bladensburg Police Department, whether it's on the town side and the police department, because we are the same team. And that goes for our hardworking town administrator, Ms. Belly Hitchback. And that concludes my supplemental report.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you for that. Next, we'll have Public Works. Oh, I'm sorry, Code.
Just real brief, I just want to give one reminder also, going back to mosquitoes. If the residents want to help out preventing mosquitoes in the community, please make sure you don't have any stagnant water on your property. Stagnant water does breed a lot of mosquitoes, so make sure you clean out your gutters, your fountains, and any trash or anything on your property. And for the code report, I just want to give, we did receive 1 noise complaint so far this year. I just want to remind residents, we do have a noise ordinance that's in effect 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Officers are out. We do have sound meters. We want to just make sure that this doesn't continue out and become a habit throughout the summer months. And I want to thank everybody, especially Public Works, for all the hard work they've assisted us with this year. Especially yesterday, we had a couple trees fall in town. One of them at 54th and Tilton Road, so I don't know if you've been up Tilton Road. They came out, got the road opened up fairly quickly. And I know Verizon's currently out there, or was out there earlier, putting the lines back up, and the other tree fell from Maryland Park property onto somebody else's property, and they're getting that taken care of now. And that'll be my report.
Thank you so much for that, Mr. Shaw. Now we have Public Works. Mr. Hall.
Good afternoon, Mayor Temp and council members, audience, and residents at home. I can be briefly, we talked a little bit about what we was doing, what I've been doing earlier, but the number one thing that we're really working on, me and the town administrator, as Chief said, hard-working lady, we finally have got past step 1 with the pedestrian lighting on 57th Avenue from in between the high school to the community center. The drawings, we have about 40, a maximum of 40 lights that's going up, a minimum of 32 lights that can be handled in this vicinity right here. So we've been working very constant to try to get this going. Also, it has been a project that's been going on from last year too. So I know everybody is ready to close this project on that and move to the next project. We have a couple of projects. That's one of them, and we also have bridge projects. We have about 3 little bridges in town that. Part of it is the town, and part of it is the county. So we have some repairs that need to be done on the town side. So we'll be moving forward on them repairs, and also coming up, we will have some sidewalk improvement, ADA compliant ramps, making sure everything is 2%. Due to the older style, all our ADA ramps and sidewalks are not ADA compliant. So any repairs that we're doing now, moving forward, everything will be ADA compliant, with also the handicap ramps will be installed as well at handicaps, ramps, your handicap ramps. So, that'd be the end of my report. I mean, we've doing a little bit more. We've changed it over to the seasonal, equipment. We're getting to the spring and summer equipment now. We're lubing it up and guys are getting it ready. As y'all can see, we started right here at the town hall. We have a few other, little projects going on with Elizabeth Seaton, I think. Thursday, we will have a couple of students from there. We'll give them a little tour of the town and show them what physically Public Works do on far as the planning side, and trying to just beautify this little town hall right quick. That should be the end of my report. Is there any questions? I will feel free
Yes,
to
I
take
do
them.
have a question.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
terms of the lighting, are they
Okay.
LED lights? Because
Yes, ma'am.
what are the lumens? Because like you all illuminated, this town hall and our perimeter here. It's just like, it's a difference between night and day.
Yeah, that's gonna be the second phase of the lighting. You know, we had one phase a while back, well, maybe 11 years ago, maybe more than that. I think probably about 13 years ago, 11 years. But that started from Annapolis Road to the high school. So this is phase 2. We would go from the high school to the community center, and then phase 3 maybe on down the road a little bit.
Okay.
So that 57th Avenue will be completely lit up. I think we'd go ahead and change it over to Hall Avenue. But that's it. That's it. I apologize. That's the end of my
That sounds
report,
good
though.
to me.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then we have our town administrator, Mrs. Bailey Hedgepeth.
I'm going to keep it very brief because there's only really one thing I wanted to mention is that in my report, we're getting 125 free Chromebooks that will be given out to income qualified individuals. That program is rolling out this month, and I just want, Ray will be putting out some flyers. There's a series of things that you have to be qualified for, but those are from the state of Maryland, and we want to get them out as soon as possible. They actually come in next week, so I'm excited about being able to give those out. Everything else is in my report, as stated. The only other thing that I'll mention is that the technical assistance panel for the Bostwick House will be here on April 17th and 18th, and that we will have a public process for that. And I'm done.
Any questions from the council? Councilwoman
Yes, Ms.
McBride?
Hedgepeth, does that include the seasoned seniors?
Yes, it can be for any, there's no age limit, so it's for anyone who can income qualify, and it's seniors are included. And actually, there's a list of things, so if you're on SSI benefits or things like that, those are qualifying things that people can, that will, so it's not age restricted, and it's only one per household.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. All right, we will move into the mayor and council reports. Of course, the mayor's report is posted, and I am first on the list for the council report. So, Councilmember Ward 1. As a matter of fact, Deputy Chief, your last name is Dickerson, and the Dickersons are my family, so we might be related.
That's a good possibility.
All right, well, I'll always give my updates here recently during this period regarding the crunch time in the General Assembly. So it's important for you all to know that any bill that has a chance of becoming law has to move out of committee and pass one house or the other. That's the Senate House, the delegates, and the Senate SB and HB. So, and this has to be done by March 18th. To be heard in a timely fashion by the House chamber. So, but if a bill does not pass one house or another, it's effectively dead. So, as I said earlier on, they had upwards to like 3,000 bills, and of course, I mean, during the January through to the April timeframe, they don't get a chance to hear all of those bills. But I do want to highlight a few bills. One is limitation on liability for rent. This one right here is for special needs tenants' liability for rent to no more than 2 months' rent after the date on which the tenant vacates a lease premise. Vacate their lease premises. So You had something, Mr. Vito? Oh, okay. And that right there is HB 93, and as a matter of fact, that passed the House of Delegates. Another one, HB 609, Library Workers Empowerment Act. So this bill right here allows library workers throughout Maryland to have collective bargaining rights, because not all counties allow unions to negotiate with management. So that passed out of committee. Also, Access to Care Act, that's House Bill HB 728. So this addresses critical health disparities faced by the immigrant community in Maryland by expanding the Affordable Care Act to all Marylanders who meet the regular eligibility criteria regardless of their immigration status. I just have a few more. This one I want you all to look up because this one is a long bill, and this is House Bill HB 814 / Senate Bill SB 744, and that's juvenile law reform. So that's a long one, so definitely HB 814 and SB 744. Special elections. This is Senate Bill 29. So this bill allows for specific elections of appointments. This bill allows for special elections instead of appointments for legislators. So you may want to check that one out too. Once again, that's SB 29. Also, and that one passed the Senate. SB 197, home care workers employment, ensuring that home care workers are properly classified as employees and not independent contractors. So this passed the state Senate. I have a couple more. HB 61, reentry service for returning citizens. So this one establishes a program that provides formerly incarcerated individuals on probation with needed services and they are appropriating $3 million for this program. So, yeah, so that's House Bill 61. Just two more. I know that, just two more. HB 585 and SB 480. This one is the Protecting Election Officials Act. So this creates a new misdemeanor charge in state election law for threats against election officials or their families. Yeah, and if that one again is HB House Bill 585 and SB 480. And one more, HB 735, SB 642, that's the beverage container recycling refund program. So that bill creates a beverage container deposit program in Maryland with a 10 or 15 cent refundable deposit on metal, glass, and plastic beverage containers, depending on the size. So yes, the deposit is refunded to the customer when the beverage container is returned for recycling. So thank you so very much. I know I went a couple of minutes over time, but as a matter of fact, because we're legislators and these bills right here, they are important and they affect all of us here in the town of Bladensburg. And once again, if you can go to their website so you can find out additional details about these bills. Thank you so very much. Now, next is Councilmember Dixon, Ward 1.
Thank you, Councilmember.
You're welcome.
Brown. Do you want to tell them about the website? Do you want to announce the website?
No, I'm good. Thank you. I've announced it before. Okay.
Thank you. So I did went to, I'm sorry. Good evening, Council and Pro Mayor.
Good evening.
Good evening. So I attended the Prince George's Planning Department meeting where they talk about trees and vegetation and regulation for the state of Maryland. I attended the COG meeting. Also, I attended the CBPC orientation. Also had a meeting with Sergeant Tansley. Tanksley regarding our extravaganza that's coming up this month. I attended the CFK state local meeting, and also I just want to say, Councilmember Brown, I just want to say the Black History Month that you put on for the literature?
Yeah, no, I didn't put it on. That's a town event.
There's a
So
town event?
that is a
Okay.
town
It was
event,
organized
but
by
yes,
you?
it-
Okay.
and no,
Okay.
well, and Ray, but
I-
thank you.
And
but
Ray,
it
I just wanted to
our
say it
whole
was an
staff. It's
amazing
not a me.
event, and I had an amazing time there. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate it, but that's a whole town thing. Nothing is me. Councilmember McBride, Ward 2.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Council, and everyone, all staff. Glad to be here. It's only a few things that I did. I did get a chance on the 3rd to attend the District 47 meeting called by Senator Augustine, and the guest person was our own county executive, Angela Also Brooks. And she announced that she would be running for another office. We congratulated her. Also, let's see, I attended the Coffee with the Cop, Valentine's Day, and I truly enjoyed that one. Everybody, well, most people were kind of festive. They had on their red. I showed up in gold, so I told them I was a gold heart. But it was nice. It's good to see our residents come out and engage with our officers. I would encourage more, if you can, to come out. That's how you stay in communication with your officers, and you get to understand them and understand what's going on in the town. That's going to be basically it. The rest of it, I'll put it online.
Thank you, Councilmember McBride. Now, Councilmember Blunt, Ward 2.
Hello. To the women sitting at this dais, the ones that's absent from Women's Month, and also the people out there in our community and staff. I have no report, but I have an update.
All right.
We'll be having a meeting on March the 21st for the apartment managements to give them a safe place to come and talk about issues they may have and collab on different avenues. That's my report.
Thank you,
did.
Council.
Okay, and Councilmember Dixon will be joining me for that meeting as well. Thank you.
You want to talk about that?
Excuse me, I left out something. The Pastoral Lay Council is getting ready to be reorganized, and I will have the first event on March 30th at Station 202. So look out for invitations. And I've been visiting the churches also to make sure they know. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember McBride. Well, that concludes our reports. I would like to, once again, wish all the women a happy Women's History Month. Yes, absolutely, yes, all the women are happy. And also, I would like to thank our residents for coming in person. Thank our residents, thanks to our residents for Zooming in virtually. I will mention that the public safety meeting will be moved to April. We have a lot of activities going on in the month of March. We have the extravaganza on the 30th as well. So once again, thank you to our staff for continuing to do a wonderful job. Police Department, Code Enforcement, Public Safety, Town Administrator, absolutely. And so now this concludes our meeting. And this concludes our meeting. I would like a motion to adjourn.
I so moved.
So moved by Councilmember McBride. So moved by Councilmember Blunt. Seconded by Councilmember McBride. Any discussion or abstentions? Hearing none, all in favor, let it be known by the saying of aye. Ayes have it, meeting adjourned.
Good night.
Thank you, good night.